Hi, welcome to Coffee with the Port St. Lucie Council. I am Teresa Aronson, President and CEO of the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce. It is our pleasure, our honor to facilitate this event. We do it every third Tuesday of the month. It's free, it's open to the public. We throw in coffee in Danish, and we're right here at the Community Center. And we rotate members of the council to come and co-host with me to talk a little bit about what's going on here in town. So I want to thank Mid-Florida Bank for sponsoring this show, and of course Michael at Steamworks Coffee right there on US 1, a small business we all want to support. I know this man has been there and has had his coffee many times. Please welcome to the show Councilman David Pickett. Welcome.
Thank you, Teresa.
It's nice to have you. How many times have you done the show with me?
I think this is my third time.
Yeah, it's not been
actually
ton.
Twice with you and once with Sean.
Oh, that's right. Sean filled in for me one time, I remember.
That was quite interesting because him and I met, and I was wearing an IU shirt, and he says, did you go to IU? I said, no, but my daughter did. So did my money. So
yeah. So same thing. Yeah, if your money
same
went.
Thing, yeah.
Yeah, he's from Indiana.
Yeah.
Indianapolis area. Oh, you got
We're
Hoosiers.
another Hoosier over
well,
there.
Okay, the one hoot is actually Sean's sister-in-law who came down from Indiana with him. So the only Indianas in the crowd are related.
Right.
But that's okay. But yes, they're all Hoosiers. The whole family came down though, right? You're all down here now. Except for Angel's son is still up in yeah.
It's northern Indiana, right? Yeah.
Northern Indiana is cold. Chicago is pretty much northern. It's very cold. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself because you've only been here a few times.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dave Pickett. I've been a resident of Port St. Lucie for well over 30 years. I was in the Army. I served in the Army for 32 years. So my family stayed here. I'm back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I finally retired in 2015, and I worked down in Palm Beach, and I decided I wanted to run for city government. So 2019, I threw my name in the hat, and it was a long, hard process. It was probably one of the hardest things I ever did, aside from jumping off mountains. But
running for office is not for the faint of heart, is it?
No, it's not. And if your heart's not in it, you can get discouraged really, really quickly.
And you never know how much people dislike you until you decide to go public, right?
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, you think, I have that fear too. I thought people liked me. It turns out, unilaterally. But anyway, we're thankful that you have decided to serve us not only in the service, right, and here in our community. So we appreciate that very much. On this show every month, we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on. We cover some controversial topics when they're happening. And we also cover the light stuff, like so that you feel like an informed resident. And today we've decided to talk about upcoming events quite a bit because it's that season, right? One, you know it's winter because every light takes 3 turn cycles before you get through it, every traffic light. People stop in roundabouts, and we have tons of events.
And the pumpkin spice.
And the pumpkin spice is back. That was back in like July, though. They really pushed that one early, the pumpkin spice. So a lot's going on. What do we want to start with?
Well, let's talk about an event we just did, McChesney Park. We've been talking about what we're going to do at the Mid-Florida Event Center and how we're going to transition events from the Mid-Florida Event Center to other places in the city. So this month we held Oktoberfest at McChesney Park. It was the first time that we've held an off-site event since I've been in office, and actually it turned out to be it was a really great, well-attended event.
Good.
So it's something that Parks and Rec is exploring to move as the city center begins to grow. We're faced with right now. I think there's last time I talked to Linda, I think there's like 28 days that's not scheduled to have events at the event center.
It is pretty busy, and as we continue to grow as a community, we're going to have more and more of those days filled up. And they've got some great things going on. I want to remind everybody, they have concert series.
Concerts.
I mean, you're not going to see Tay-Tay out there, but you'll see people that you've heard of, right? And I want to remind everybody to support that so we can continue to bring bigger and bigger and more well-known acts until we reach our Taylor Swift audience.
Well,
abilities.
once we get, if you don't know, we're putting a, well, we're not, it's Madame A's building it, out west of town, a concert venue there. It's a 5,000 seat concert venue, which it's gonna allow us to have bigger and better concerts here. Of course, we're not gonna have the Taylor Swifts. That's
No,
a given.
that's
But
way
it's
too
gonna,
small.
It's gonna allow us to bring in bigger acts because we can accommodate more seats. The more seats you accommodate, the more tickets you can sell, the bigger artists you can bring in. So that's our hopes.
Yeah. People have to remember, it's not a bedroom community anymore. We're a
it's not.
full functioning, area of concerned residents, as noticed by our audience today. So, yeah. And so there's another Oktoberfesty kind of thing coming up, right?
Yeah, we've got, this is something that I kind of spearheaded with communications. Excuse me. As you drive around for starting in Thanksgiving, people start putting up the Christmas lights. And you see all these people putting up Christmas lights. But also, one thing I noticed, excuse me, one thing I noticed that Halloween is a very, very heavily decorated, people decorate their houses for it. So we have a contest for Christmas. So I said, why can't we have a contest for people decorating their houses for Halloween to encourage people to get in the festive spirit? Because really, the holiday season starts now.
Yeah.
And we're actually, this is the, opening the door for Christmas. I heard on the TV this morning as I was getting dressed to come here, 69 days to Christmas. So
Yeah. Well, this is decorating, like you start with Halloween and you don't go back to your regular house decorations until January, right? It goes Halloween,
Right.
Thanksgiving, Christmas.
So we've got a contest. It's called Spooktacular House Decorating Contest. It starts October 13th, and it runs to October 29th. And then I think there's 3 categories to win in, and each one gets a $100 gift certificate.
Very nice. And how do they register? I'm sure they go to St.
They
Louis.
have to register online with the city.
And they register online. Somebody who's judging this.
Right. There's gonna be judges going out and looking at your different houses or whatever, and making a determination from there.
I love that. I love that. We tried to do that with businesses one year, which I'm open to if businesses wanted to do it. But
Got a lot of chamber members in here, so
I know it, and not a lot of storefronts. Synovus Bank has one, but yeah, we'll put a link on our website of events too for that because I love that idea.
So the next thing is the Hazardous Waste Household Collection Day. That's always a very well attended event. I went over there when I was running for office one day just to hold my sign up and let people know who I am. And I was surprised at the number of people that bring household waste there, paints and oils and items of that nature. It's all free. It's free drop off. You don't have to pay to take it down to the landfill. Take it over. It's on it's at our Public Works on Thornhill. So take it over there, drop it off, and go on about your business.
And we should talk about that for just a second so people know hazardous waste is what you cannot put in your trash can, although many people do, and it causes all kinds of problems out at the landfill. But you can't put aerosol cans, all those sorts of things explode, right? But the big one is oil-based paint.
Right.
You cannot have oil-based paint in your regular trash collection. You really do need to make sure that and when you do, it gums up the works, and then we all pay the price. So there's a reason why you can't put these things in. There's a whole list, though, under the Public Works page.
Exactly. Just go to the city website, and there's a list of items that they will take, and there's a list of items that they won't take.
Yeah.
So it's very important to, make sure you take the appropriate items.
No propane gas tanks in your trash.
No
either.
propane gas tanks.
I don't know. I've seen that. I'm not even kidding.
So the next item we have for this month, if you've never been to it, this is a really great time. It's the hayride and bonfire out to McCarty Ranch. Right after COVID, when we started it back up, we went out there, we had the bonfire and everything, and there were so many people that attended that event. We had cars parked out on Rangeline Road, and they have a trolley that comes and picks you up and takes you down to the bonfire area. But it's a very well attended event, and it's a lot of fun if you've never been out there. They have horse ride, little pony rides for the kids, and they always have a band.
Yeah.
Live band playing there,
And a huge hayride. It takes a lot of people, but you still have to wait in line a bit.
And then of course the bonfire. So it's a huge bonfire. It's not like it's not like your backyard bonfire. It's huge. So,
Professionals.
Yeah.
What dates are those?
that is on October 21st. It's from 2 to 8 p.m.
Okay, very good. So it's a week before Halloween,
Correct.
actually. Okay.
That'll be nice and cool, so the bonfire will be
Oh,
right on
that's right.
time.
This weekend.
Yeah.
I know it's sweater weather. This is the first and possibly the only day we get sweater weather in Florida, but we're hoping to have some this weekend too for the hayride, which also keeps the mosquitoes away. Just so you know.
Exactly. I was looking this morning. It was cool, and I was looking in my closet. I couldn't. All my jackets or sweaters are up in the attic. So.
Oh yeah. It's sweater weather, one day only, here in South Florida.
Well, the next event is at it's Fall Fest, and it's October 27th, and it's 5 to 10, and they're going to have trick or treating, and there's a 80s pop band that's going to play, and that's at
Wait. What 80s pop band is going to play? Don't gloss over the headline. Does anybody know what 80s pop band?
It's called Chemistry. They're called Chemistry.
How popular were they?
No, it's more than likely it's like a tribute band kind of
That makes sense.
thing. So.
Okay.
What, you expect to see Justin Timberlake over there?
Well, he wasn't the 80s. That was way 90s.
No, he was 80s.
Oh, no.
No?
Early 2000s, late 90s. Yeah.
Oh.
80s was more like New Edition, if you're a boy band
New
in it.
Edition, yeah.
And who a lot of, Madonna, that sort of stuff. That was the 80s.
Well, I can assure you Madonna's not going to be there. So.
Well, I can assure you I'm happy about that.
Let's see. One thing that we've been trying to put together is have more events for teenagers. And this year we have on October 31st, it's Halateen Hangout, and that's going to be at the Mid-Florida Event Center.
Okay.
So that's for all the teenagers. That's from 6 to 9. So.
That's a school night.
Oh, 9 o'clock. Got out of there 9 o'clock. So.
All right.
But at least it's the start. You
Yeah.
have to start somewhere. Okay. Anybody who speaks Spanish, don't beat me up for this one. This is.
Uh-oh.
Help me out, Christina. Dia
Day of the Dead.
De los Muertos. Yeah. Day of the Dead.
Yes.
So that's going to be at Mid-Florida Event Center also. That's it's November 2nd. So,
November 2nd.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you never attended one of those, they're pretty fun. I went to
Yeah.
one in San Antonio last year, and it was a blast. I had a great time.
Good.
Then now that it's fall season, we brought back River Nights. That's at Veterans Park at Rivergate. That's from 5:30 to 8:30, and those are when they first started. They were maybe 200 or 300 people that it started would attend, and now there's well over 1,000 people that go
To
that
River
event.
Nights.
Yeah.
Tell everybody a little bit about River Nights. We had been doing it at the Port St. Lucie Botanical Gardens, but we're getting ready to unveil a lot of great stuff over there, Pioneer Park, and
Right.
hopefully the History Museum and all that kind of good stuff. So we've moved it over to Veterans Park, which is on Westmoreland, right?
Well, it's Veterans Memorial Parkway.
That's
but
true.
yeah.
On that side, it's
Yeah,
Veterans
it's on the other
Memorial
side.
Parkway. But Westmoreland turns into it, just so you
Right.
know. Okay, so we're going to do it there now, River
Yes.
Nights. And we
And-
have vendors.
Yeah, they have
and-
vendors and food trucks, and they don't have the bonfire over there. Well, we used to have it at River Nights when we had it at Botanical Gardens, but it's a great event. It's a way for you just to go out and relax, and spend time, with your friends and neighbors, and listen to some music. And they always have every month is a different genre. So if this month they play 60s and 70s music, next month they're going to play reggae music. So there's something there for everybody.
Okay, very good. And it's really just a nice event. I mean, you can
It is.
walk around the vendors. There's
is.
always tons of giveaways and lots of great truck food.
Oh yeah. The next event we're having is Veterans Day ceremony, and that's at Veterans Park, and that's on Saturday, November 11th at 11 a.m. It's our salute to the veterans. The program's all put together. It's ready to go. Yeah.
Perfect.
I can't say anything more about it.
I mean, that is a long list of upcoming events. Okay, where are we at?
Okay, so again at the Mid-Florida Event Center. See why we have so many events?
Oh, yeah, we do. Well, it's a huge event center.
Yeah, it is.
It's in the name.
You talked about it earlier, the concerts. Sister Hazel and Soul Asylum.
Yep.
Two pretty good groups.
That's 90s.
Yeah, that's 90s. And that's going to be November 18th at 7 p.m. That's at Mid-Florida Event Center. Tickets are on sale now. Go to the Event Center's website, and there's a link to the concert there. And so,
Okay.
rolling into December, the Festival of Lights at Mid-Florida Event Center. That's Saturday, December the 2nd. That's from 2 to 10. That's always a well-attended event. They have, if you're into making floats or driving floats around, they have a parade, and then usually the mayor and the council light the city Christmas tree.
Do they wave and throw candy to kids too in the parade?
Well, it's a lot, you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to throw candy anymore?
But-
What has this
But I'm not
world
saying that
come
it's
to?
not done.
If I come, we're throwing candy. I say chamber ambassadors low up.
Well, they
we're
always tell
throwing
me, because
candy.
I like to throw the beads.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, like
That's
at
gonna
Mardi
take
Gras.
somebody's eye out.
No, I don't throw them. I toss them, but they're always.
See, now we know why you can't throw stuff
right.
anymore. I'm the first one. I'm like, that's a huge liability on the city. Somebody gets tangled
like
up in
throwing
beads.
throwing a jawbreaker, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. I'll throw taffy.
Okay, there you
There
go.
you go. Yeah.
Then we have Veterans Park at Rivergate celebrating Hispanic Month. Noche Buena? Is that how you say that? My Spanish is horrible, so forgive me. That's Friday,
Noche
December.
bueno. Good night.
Yeah, that's Friday, December 8th at 7 to 10 o'clock. And then rounding out the month, we have Port St. Lucie and Lights Party, and that's December 15th, Friday, December 15th from 5 to 9, and that's also at Mid-Florida Event Center.
Very good. So for a full list of all these events and more,
All on the city's website.
city website, right? Under Parks and Rec, right?
Parks and Rec, and then the ones at the Mid-Florida Event Center, you just go to Mid-Florida Event Center, and they're there also.
How many of you have heard of Sister Hazel? Oh, very good.
How many already have your tickets?
Yeah, buy your tickets then. Soul Asylum. They were big in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they,
Well, we always try to find groups that has mass appeal, that basically that we can afford.
I was just going to say there's a sweet spot between what we can afford
Right.
and what is appealing.
Exactly.
And so we're always trying to make that where we land. But Soul Asylum and Sister Hazel they each had at least one big
Right,
hit
exactly.
in the 90s. So it's worth our ticket prices are not the same as Tay Tay either. I mean, they're really cheap. You're not going to pay $1,000 to go to the Mid-Florida Event Center.
No, typically you're looking at 35 to 50 bucks.
For a really great night out.
And we always try to put on at least two good acts. And this show is going to have 3. I forget who the other guy is, but
There's a third guy, and we don't know who it is?
Yeah, I forget what his name is, but there's a third act.
What if we're hiding the headline? I mean, what
Well,
if he's the best one? What if it's
that's the
like Vanilla
cliffhanger.
Ice or now I'm curious.
That's the cliffhanger to get you to go to the website.
Would you pay to go see Vanilla Ice? I would. He lived here for a while, didn't he?
Yeah.
He lived here in Port St. Lucie. He didn't. He did, but he kept animals here, as we all remember. Yes, we had a kangaroo loose in Port St.
Didn't
Lucie.
he live in Palm Beach?
Yeah, Wellington. But he did have relatives here, and he had some land here. Interesting tidbit. Here you go. Come to the show and learn all about how Vanilla Ice's kangaroo got loose in Port St. Lucie. It was riveting news. It was like a front page headline. I mean, that was, a decade or so ago, but yeah, it was fun.
We had 30,000 people who lived here then.
We
too, so-
try to be informative here on the show, and now you can move on with your day knowing that. We always take questions after the show, and we invite everybody down to ask their questions, because again, Steamworks is here. We've got coffee and Danish, and so we definitely want you to join us. A couple other things. I'm out and about in the area, and I always get questions. It's so funny. We had our first stakeholders update for the city of Port St. Lucie last month, and Jesus was our speaker, and it was very well attended, and he really gave us a ton of information. And I guess because I travel in the same circles, and it's these types of circles, people are always asking about sidewalks and 95 and the turnpike and future roadway plans, infrastructure plans, and all that stuff's on the website. If you want to check it out, City of PSL, you can see the sidewalk plan, you can see project plans, the half-cent tax, what those half-cent tax are all going to roadway plans. So you can check out all those on the website, and we appreciate that. Then we always talk about boundaries because people think the city's in charge of everything. And not necessarily true. So if you have questions, I urge you to come down here because we could probably help you out and relatively, because I feel like there's people at home watching and they're so mad because they want to know something about this or that, or they think you've enacted a conspiracy against them to make all the stoplights be in favor of whoever's driving in another lane. But that's not, we have answers, right? And we want to make sure that you feel better about it and you know what's going on in your own city. And the trim notices went out in August. Property taxes, most of you escrow it. I always want to remind people, don't pay those trim notices. So this is your 2 minutes of PSAs with the chamber. Don't pay your trim notice. Make sure you're looking. Find out when your sidewalks are going to be put in your neighborhood. And if you want a street light, you are in charge of that. You are the captain of your own streetlight ship. If you want one, you have to enlist your neighbors and agree to offset the cost for that and put it in. So that's not.
But the
a
streetlights
design.
it's one of those things where I may want it, but you don't want it.
I don't want it.
And you have to go solicit your whole neighborhood. It's not one of those things where you just go and go, do you want a street light? It's a very long, drawn-out process.
It is. The majority of your neighbors have to say, yes, we want a street light.
Right.
And I live on the water, so I don't want a street light. That is just a mosquito attractor, right? Mm-hmm. But I also live at the end of some streets, so it's not like there's a lot of kids walking around my area. But I don't want one.
Yeah.
But you might, so that's always a controversial item. We used to have a guy that came, and I don't remember who that was. Maybe Wayne does, but he wanted his street light, and he would say that every month. But you got to get your neighbors to agree.
The first time you go through, it's a 50%, and then it comes back, and then the city vets to make sure that a lot of people don't understand that when you go to get these signatures, it has to be the homeowner. It's not the person living in the house, it's the homeowner. Mm-hmm. And they have to agree to it. So if someone is renting the home,
they have no say.
Yeah, they don't get a say. And that's where a lot of the controversy comes in. Well, the people say, oh, I got 25 of the 30 people that live on my street. Yeah, but 15 of those people were renters, so they don't get to make a choice. It's the actual homeowner. And that's something, once you turn that list in, the city vets it to make sure that they are all homeowners, and then it goes back, and it's a process.
It is, but if you want your street light, you got to go through it. And the sidewalks are another thing, and there is a master plan for that, so you can head to the website and see when your area. Of course, we're going to do major arteries first, right? We're not going to do neighborhood streets before major arteries, because that's where it's most dangerous for our kids getting to and from the bus stop.
That's on the website too. We have the master plan on there, and then we have the infrastructure. Matter of fact, we just talked about it yesterday in our special council meeting. We received an update from Public Works on the infrastructure here in the city, widening roads and all this and all that. So that's also on the website, and that's some pretty good information. So you can see when, for example, Cashmere, when it's going into design, and when it's going to be put in the CIP, and when it's actually going to get done. So it's all laid out on the website for your viewing.
Very good. A couple more PSAs before we head out and take questions from the audience. One is the Chamber, in a combined effort with the city, has a small business assistance program, and we are here to help in any way we can. So if you've just decided, I want to open up a small business tomorrow, or I'm going to rent a bay and open my hair salon, or come and see us first, because there's so many things that you should know before you head out on that journey, and we will start from the very, very beginning with you. And if you are going to rent space, then you absolutely should not rent your space or buy your space before you come and talk to us, because we need to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting into when you start your commercial enterprise. And we're very thankful to the city for that. We're very busy with that. That takes up a large portion of my time, but I love it because it's very rewarding. And so just to give you an idea is, well, yeah, we can help you get you outsourced to business planners and financial planners, but just filling out your business tax receipt, which is the first step, I help you with that. I've done it for about a dozen people. I'm like, I'll help you, let's do it together. I had to find out if you can have an auto paint inflatable booth, as that copacetic here in St. Lucie County. So any question you have, I will try to find the answers for you. So that's why it's important that you come and see us. But I think it's been effective. I have not heard about people throwing away their money on something that is never going to be in a long time, to be honest with you.
Well, it's not just businesses you help. You help me with my nonprofit. There were some things that I wasn't for sure about. I went to the chamber, and they set me on the right path and helped me get things going correctly from the get-go, where I didn't have problems with the government.
Yeah, that's important.
And that was huge.
You can sit down with me and I'll get your EIN number. Your EIN number is easy to get if you're a sole proprietor, if you are LLC, you need some articles of incorporation, all that sort of stuff, but I can help you do that. I can help you get registered with SunBiz. I mean, every single step we can help you with, and we're more than happy to do it. That's what we're there for, to be honest with you. So, good about that. And then we also have a couple other shows with the chamber that are free and open to the public. We feed you at every single one of them, so head to our website to see that as well. And then I know we have an election coming up next year. Everybody's out to get their petition signed. My PSA is your petition signing is something that you should feel obligated to do for this reason. It's not a vote, it's not an endorsement, it's just helping that person get their name on the ballot. And we live in a country where everybody should be allowed to run for office without having to have a ton of money and without having to have the backing of the majority of people on the upfront. I signed my opponents, and I always will sign my opponents. You should sign everybody's petition. Very good. Anything else you want to add?
For those of you who expect to see Mayor Martin here today, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Did you all know, did they tell you who was going to be here? I'm wondering. Oh, they did? She's going to be here next month.
Well, it's glad because usually when it's advertised for me, I have like 4 or 5 people show up. So it's nice to see.
Stop. Next
to see the room
time, we're going to make sure we pack the room. It'll be mandatory for ambassadors to come, so you don't feel bad. I don't want you to start your day feeling bad about yourself, but I get it. I definitely get it. Yeah. All right, well, I want to thank everybody for coming, and of course, Michael at Steamworks for bringing us coffee and Danish if you haven't had any. And remember, he does his own blends. This is not standard issue. I love them, Cheney Brothers or Cisco coffee. This is coffee that he blends himself, so it's very interesting. With that, thanks to Gus and Avi for putting this together, and Christina. Of course, she's always got to get my council person down here and ready to go. And David Pickett, everybody, for being with us today. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, have a great day, everybody that's watching. For those of you in the audience, give us a couple seconds. We'll start taking all your questions.